Chapter 15. Emma. I lie in bed listening to the sounds from the rest of the house. Haley's bright laughter contrasts against the lower murmurs of the men. They come up the stairs, and I hear doors closing as they head to bed. Soon the house is quiet, and all that keeps me up are the thoughts spinning in my head. How could I have been so wrong? I was so sure Edwin liked Hannah. I roll over and let out a muffled scream into the pillow. Why couldn't he have liked Hannah? It would have been so easy then. They would be so perfect for each other. But all this time he was thinking of me? I go through our interactions in my head. The times I thought he was hitting on Hannah or joining us so he could be near her. How did I not see that he was doing it to be with me? And I was nice to him for Hannah's sake, and he thought I liked him. I cover my face with my hands as I think of how I invited him to the party. Did I even mention that Hannah was coming? I must have. How could I have been this blind? This stupid? My hands drop to my sides and my stomach twists as I inhale. Hannah. Fear and sorrow mix inside me. I'm going to have to tell Hannah. She's going to be devastated. How can I tell her that the man I've been pushing her towards has a thing for me? Outside, the snow keeps falling, blanketing the world in white. Inside, I toss and turn, trying to find the best way to tell my friend I made a huge mistake. When morning comes, I dress for comfort. We have no plans for the day, and it's still snowing. My dad has to work, and if tradition holds, he'll work an extra long shift so that he can have tomorrow off. Ever since we were kids, but especially after my mom left, he refuses to work on Christmas Day. He once told me that if you want to make your own hours, you need to be so good at your job that you can't be easily replaced. My dad is good at his job. So I'm not surprised when I come downstairs and he's already left. Haley is sitting at the table, grimacing at a cup of something that is not coffee, while she wistfully glances at Noah's giant mug of pure blackness. Good morning, I say as I sit down at the counter. Waffle? Daniel asks and holds one up. We have blueberry and chocolate. But no cinnamon. Haley can't stand cinnamon. I raise an eyebrow at my cousin, who just grimaces and places a hand on her stomach. Chocolate, please, I say just as the kitchen door opens and Knightley comes in. Just in time, Daniel says. I'm making waffles. He places the waffles in the toaster. I already had breakfast, Knightley says, but heads over to the coffee maker and pours himself a cup. Sometimes I forget how at home he is here. I forget he knows where we keep the mugs, and that he can never take the last of the raspberry Pop-Tarts because they're my dad's favorite. He glances over at me and raises the pot. I nod and he grabs a second mug and fills it. Without prompting, he gets the oat milk from the fridge and places it and the mug next to me. Thanks, I say, and it hits me. I'm going to have to tell him. I'm going to have to tell him what happened yesterday. A groan almost escapes me. So much for my efforts to keep it secret. Daniel places 2 waffles in front of me, and I dust them with powdered sugar. Knightley is right that I eat unhealthy things in moderation, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy them once in a while. After making sure everyone, including Knightley, has a plate of waffles in front of them, Daniel takes a seat next to his wife and brings up his plans for the day. I chew slowly as I watch them debate if the roads are too bad to take a trip to the mall for last-minute Christmas stuff. Noah insists that they're not, but I'm pretty sure that's only because he hasn't finished his shopping yet. Haley yawns suddenly. I'm going to take a nap. She gets up. Noah wrinkles his eyebrows at his phone. It's 8:30 in the morning. So? Haley says with fierceness in her eyes. Have you ever been pregnant? Noah holds up his hands in surrender. I think we can make it to the mall, Daniel says with a look after his wife. They plowed the street here, so the rest of the streets should be traversable. Noah finishes his coffee. Let's go. Knightley, Emma? I shake my head. I'll stay here, Knightley says. I'm already done with my shopping. As the 2 men leave, I take a deep breath and close my eyes. You want more waffles? Coffee? He gets up and rinses his mug and places it in the dishwasher. No, I'm good. He doesn't believe me. I know he doesn't, because he's trying very hard to not look at me. So I steel myself. I guess I owe you dinner. There is tension in the kitchen. He stiffly walks over to the stool next to me and sits down. Oh, is all he says. Yeah, you were right. Edwin is not interested in Hannah. He told you last night. I nod. Yeah, turns out he's interested in me. Knightley goes still. So still I'm not sure he's breathing. And are you? Frowning, I study him. His face is unreadable. Am I what? He clears his throat. Are you interested in Edwin? No. Not even a little. Which I told him. How did he take it? Not great. He thought inviting him here was my way of telling him I liked him. Sorry? I shrug. It's not your fault. You tried to warn me. Did you tell Hannah? Not yet. My eyes slide to my phone. I must have composed a million messages while unable to sleep, and dismissed each one. I think I have to tell her in person. That might be a good idea. You could invite her to the apartment for a sleepover. My eyebrow shoots up as I face him. He laughs. My mom gave me my present early. She's always been bad at keeping secrets. She's going to LA for a week and invited me along. We'll be leaving this afternoon. You won't be here for Christmas? I touch the bracelet I hadn't removed last night. I'll be back sometime after New Year's, so it's a perfect time to have Hannah over. Disappointment courses through me as I nod. I guess you'll get away from the snow at least. And I have heard some interesting things about California girls. Our eyes meet, but he doesn't smile back at me. My phone buzzes and I break eye contact. It's Haley. She needs a different blanket. I get up, but before I can take a single step, he's in front of me. His hand lands on my arm and warmth sparks through me. As he pulls me into a hug, I barely breathe. I'm sorry about what happened, he murmurs near my ear, and it takes me a while to connect the dots. He smells of apples and wood and home. The hug ends too soon and he walks out the door. Chapter 16. Emma. I'm at the empty apartment, tidying the kitchen for the 4th time. I messaged Hannah as soon as I got back and invited her over for a girls' night. The freezer is stocked with ice cream, and there's wine and cookie dough in the fridge. I don't know Hannah well enough to know how she'll react and what will make her feel better. But I've tried to cover all my bases. I'm just about to wipe the microwave yet again when my phone buzzes. I rush over to where I lay it on the counter, thinking it's Hannah. But it's not, and my heart beats faster. I'm thinking I want to go to Rosino's. It's Knightley. What? Rosino's. For my victory dinner. You can make the reservations. He ends the text with a winky face, and I can't stop the smile. I'll think about it. I know the place. It's a family-owned restaurant that serves some of the best Italian foods around. Sometimes, if you go there for lunch, the owner will put several tables together and his whole family will show up. Not just wife and kids, but uncles, cousins, grandparents. And they'll be laughing and talking loudly. But at dinner, the atmosphere changes. It becomes calm and cozy. There's soft music playing, and the servers speak in mellow voices and smile just enough to make you feel at ease. It's the perfect place for a romantic date. I wait for a reply, but none comes, so I sigh at the microwave. When the doorbell rings, I almost fly from the kitchen to open it. Hi, Hannah smiles happily and holds up a box. I made lemon squares. I didn't know you bake, I say and close the door after her. I take the box and place it on the kitchen counter. It's a great way to save money, she says and removes her coat and shoes. She's brought a bag with her that she sets down by the door. With a deep breath, I steel myself. I have to talk to you, I say. I know I can't delay this any longer. Is something wrong? I gesture for her to sit by the small table in the dining area and take the seat opposite her. It's bad news? My mouth opens and closes as she watches me with large, curious eyes. I don't know how to tell you this. Are you sick? Is it your family? No. No, everyone's fine. I clear my throat. You know I invited Edwin to the Christmas party? Her nod is almost unnoticeable. Well, he thought it was something it wasn't. The only reason I offered him a ride and invited him was so that you two could get some time together. But of course, I couldn't just leave him here when you got sick. She looks so innocent. So calm. Anyway. He came on to me. I hold my breath, but she's just staring at me, so I continue. After the party, I drove him home, and in the car he said that he's basically in love with me. I told him no. I rushed to add, "Oh, Hannah. I'm so sorry. I never should have pushed you toward him, and now I've hurt you, and I never wanted for that to happen." Hannah nods and stands. She turns to the living room, takes 2 steps and stops. Then she faces the kitchen, then me. "Are you very upset?" I ask quietly. "So he doesn't like me?" Her voice is so weak and broken. Shaking my head, I try to keep my tears from breaking loose. "I'm so sorry." I was. She waits. Turns to the living room again. I was starting to really like him. "He doesn't deserve you, not even a bit." I go up to her and put my arm on her shoulder. She's blinking away tears. "You have to say that because you're my friend." But I'm starting to think. She covers her mouth with her hand as a sob escapes her. "Hannah." I hug her gently at first, then tighter. "It's true. You're worth so much better, so much more than he could offer you. And you will find it." She cries on my shoulder for a bit, then she pulls back. "Oh no. How am I going to face him? He must think I'm a stalker or something." "Why would he think that? And don't worry about it. He texted me to tell me he wouldn't need a ride back to campus because he's taking some time. He didn't say where or what he'll be doing. And I didn't want to ask, but at least he won't be around for a while. Not sure how he can just leave his studies, but there it is." Hannah nods. "Do you want ice cream? Or wine?" "Yeah." "Both?" "Both?" She gives me a smile between tears, and I hurry to get the provisions as she settles herself on the couch in the living room. When I place my haul in front of her, tears are still streaming down her cheeks, but she is handling the situation a lot better than I expected. "I think," she says. "I think maybe he gets special dispensation, because, I don't know if you've heard this, but his father is close with the dean." I stare at her for a while before her shy smile sends me, and I laugh. "I was so wrong," I say when I've calmed down a bit. "You're 1,000 times too good for Edwin." She only gives me a smile in response. "I heard from my cousin Avery. She's coming in a few days." "Is this the cousin you mentioned? The one who can sing?" "Yes. She's fantastic at it. And I mentioned the talent show, and she's really eager to participate." I scrape at the ice cream with my spoon. "We'll be starting auditions soon, but I'm not sure if I can just give her a spot." "Oh, she can audition. That's not a problem. She just wants to get involved with life here at uni, and she likes your charity." "So where has she been?" I turn on the TV and start looking for a movie to watch. "She spent a semester doing online classes while she was working in LA." "What kind of work did she do?" "I think it was something to do with movies. She doesn't like to talk about it. And I think she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement." "Speaking of movies, what are you in the mood for?" We sit back and enjoy a couple of comedies, order some pizza, and finish a bottle of wine. As we uncork the second bottle, Hannah suddenly gets up. "Come on," she says. It takes a while before I recognize the mischievous look in her eyes. "What are you doing?" I follow her into the hallway. "Aren't you curious?" She heads straight for Knightley's door. Hannah. My protests fall for deaf ears. She's already inside and has turned on the lights. Slowly, I follow her. Knightley's room is tidy. He doesn't have a lot of knickknacks or extra things. My eyes are drawn to a picture on his nightstand. It's me, Noah, and Knightley squinting at the camera. The picture was taken by Knightley's mom one summer afternoon a few years ago. She was visiting a client and took us with for a road trip. We spent the night at a motel, watching scary movies and sleeping in. When Miss Knightley woke us after her meeting, we were bleary-eyed and tired. That was the last time I slept in the same room as Knightley. It was the last time we really hung out together. After that, the boys went to uni, and I was left home alone. Last year, I was too busy creating a life for myself here at uni, and I didn't really hang out with them much. Is that you? Hannah asks over my shoulder. You look so young there. I was 16, I think. You look happy. I was. I take a deep breath and put the picture down. Moment of truth, Hannah says with a wink and opens the drawer. She giggles and reaches in to pull out a box of condoms. I knew it. Well, I assumed he'd be responsible. But still. She shakes her head. Then she turns to me with a strange mix of curiosity and horror on her face. Have you had to listen to him have sex? What? No. We need to get out of here. You get really bold when you've had a couple of drinks. Hannah giggles as I push her out of the room and make sure we leave everything the way we found it. My eyes pause on the nightstand. I haven't noticed Knightley bring anyone home yet. Maybe he's trying to be respectful. Let's watch another movie, Hannah says. Something fun.